going on, people? It's the Xbox 448, and today, before I get into Titanfall 2, I do want to give a major shout out to everybody who has checked out this past Saturday's next podcast. We had a couple really awesome special guests. Of course, we had the Million Gamer Score man, Randall Thor, and we had an Xbox ambassador / also an Xbox MVP, and he goes by the name of Scratch. Really awesome guys. It was really cool to get in and talk about Gamescom and the games that were announced at Gamescom and stuff like that with these guys. It was just one of those shows that, you know, we started talking, everybody was engaged, everybody was sharing their opinions, and before I knew it, I looked up at the clock and it was already over an hour and a half. That's one of those signs that you have a really good show on your hands, is when everybody was so comfortable and stuff like that with sharing their thoughts and opinions. That time just kind of flew by. So I will put a link in the description below. Definitely check out this episode. You know, give a shout out to Scratch, give a shout out to Rand. They did an awesome job with us. And of course the next panel. I mean, what can I say? If it wasn't for the panel that we have on the next podcast, the show wouldn't be what it is right now. But let's get on to today's video. I do want to talk about the tech test for Titanfall 2. I know there's been a lot of people with a lot of opinions, whether, you know, on social media and stuff like that, and I kind of want to put my 2 cents in on this. I do feel I feel a certain way about this game now after playing the tech test, and I see a lot of people feel the same way. Now, the tech test started Friday. I believe it ended sometime on Sunday. They will have another one this coming weekend as well, so I will be interested to see what they do that's different for this coming weekend as opposed to this past weekend. But let's kind of get into it, and let's talk about, you know, that 500-pound gorilla that's in the room, which is the speed of the game. Titanfall 2 with this tech test feels like I don't know, it feels heavier. The game feels slower. It feels like it drags more compared to the original Titanfall. And that's just what I felt when I first played it. It just felt off to me. Now, I do know they did kind of like a patch on Saturday for this. And I believe they sped up the game slightly, and they also sped up, you know, they made it easier for you to get your Titans, because that was another big gripe. They took out the timer from the original Titanfall, and they kind of added this reward system where the more you do, you kind of build this circle bar until it's filled, and then you get your Titan. That's another thing I really didn't like, just for the fact that the original Titanfall, no matter if your team was doing good, doing bad, whether you personally were doing bad, there was a timer. You were going to get your Titan, because the game's called Titanfall, alright? So that means you should get your Titan, alright? But when they revamped it, and on this tech test, there's points in time where people weren't getting their Titan. The first drop would be at the end of a match. You weren't getting your Titan. So in that case, guess what? You weren't playing Titanfall. So that's a big thing right there as well, is I think they really got to take that timer that they had in the original Titanfall, which, you know, it helped everybody out. It helped, like, swing matches. It helped keep players engaged, that, you know, if their team was losing badly, because you knew there was that point in time where you would get this huge mech and you would try to turn the table, and it was doable. In Titanfall 2, at least with this tech test, you're not doing that, alright? If you're losing badly, you're losing badly, and there's no real turnaround. But I know a lot of people, like on social media, Twitter and stuff like that, when I was sharing my thoughts and opinions on this, they're like, well, it's a pre-alpha. It's a pre-alpha test. And all I gotta say to that, I understand pre-alpha, but why are they using a pre-alpha build of this game? People who are following this title, you know that it comes out in like 2 months. 2 months! Why are they using a pre-alpha build to test the servers and stuff like that if this game comes out 2 months from now? This is a question that I think Respawn definitely needs to answer, because all it did was create confusion and conflict within the people who have played this tech test, or this stress test. I mean, all in all, there was there was some bad things, there was some good things. I do like the customization of the pilots. I like the customization of the Titans. I think there are going to be more customization options when the whole game comes out. Like there's certain things, like there's a robot pilot that's attached to the grappling hook. I think there's going to be more than just that robot pilot that will be able to use that grappling hook and stuff like that, so I'm not too worried about that. When it comes to the game modes, alright, they gave 3 game modes for this test. They gave something called Bounty Hunt, they gave Amped Hardpoint, and they gave Pilot versus Pilot. I'm going to go with what I thought was the worst first, and this is a mode that was actually in the original Titanfall that I had an issue with as well, and that's Pilot versus Pilot. It just seems like what basically Pilot versus Pilot is exactly what it says. There's no Titans in it whatsoever. It's just a team of pilots versus a team of pilots. And I think they kind of threw in this mode to cater to people who play different games, who don't necessarily play Titanfall. I don't know, like the COD, you know, people who play COD, stuff like that. I think they threw this in there to try to catch that consumer base as well, but it makes no sense in a game called Titanfall. How are you going to put a mode that's like putting a marathon in a Forza? Like, oh, okay, you can run this race, but you know what? You can't use cars. You literally got to run. Makes no sense. So I don't know why they keep this mode around of Pilot versus Pilot, but I don't see it having a place in Titanfall. Now, what I consider the best mode out of these 3 was probably Amped Hardpoint. I do like Hardpoint. It's your basic, you have 3 spots on the map that your team has to try to kind of take over and defend, you know, basically get it for your team, and when you get these hard points, then points are added to your team, and whoever gets to, you know, the most points wins. Now, with Amped Hardpoint, you can actually have, you know, somebody stay back that's on your team with a hard point that you captured and kind of capture it again, and it'll actually give you double the points. I like this. I like this feature to Hardpoint, this like added addition. I think it adds a new dynamic to that game. Hopefully they have traditional Hardpoint as well as Amped. But I liked it. It was actually the mode that I was trying to go to the most while playing this tech test. The other mode is Bounty Hunt, and a lot of people wanted to play Bounty Hunt. I was in parties and people were like, yo, let's go into Bounty Hunt and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't like it. And there's, you know, I can see why people would want to go to Bounty Hunt, because it feels like that traditional attrition match. Now, you got to remember, I'm playing on the Xbox, so I'm playing with people who have played the original Titanfall. Alright? And with the original Titanfall, it was known for this mode called Attrition, which had like that enemy AIs, the grunts and specters dropping down everywhere. You're getting points shooting them while shooting the other team and taking out the other team's Titans. There was just stuff to do, stuff was going on everywhere, and it was a really fun mode. And I think people wanted, I think Bounty Hunt kind of resembled that, and that's why people wanted to get into it. But let's face it, guys, it's not Attrition, alright? One of my biggest gripes with this is the use of money. In Bounty Hunt, there are 3 waves, and, you know, 2 teams. There's specters and grunts dropping down everywhere. And when the waves are over, you have to go back to your People's United Bank over in your corner over there and deposit your money. Money! They put money in Titanfall. Makes no fucking sense whatsoever. You're in a war between like a couple different factions. At least that's what it was in the original Titanfall. You had like these 2 factions, and you're basically at war with each other. It's like, yeah, yo, I'm right in the middle of the battlefield, and I took out all these Titans and pilots and stuff like that. You know what? Let me go back and put my money in the bank. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. Yo, drop the money, guys. I can almost, with me studying advertising and stuff like that and seeing how companies view consumers in certain situations, I can tell you that this is pretty much a way to subliminally get you to spend your real money on the game when it comes out via microtransactions. I believe microtransactions are going to be in here. I don't know if any of that was announced, but it's pretty much the norm today. you know, until that whole pre-owned market where people are buying pre-owned games, until that all stops, you're going to see microtransactions, you're going to see season passes, stuff like that. But it just seemed like it was a subliminal hint to kind of warm you up, to get you to spend your real money in the game when it comes out. And I don't know. Other than that, I can't see a reason to have money in Titanfall. It just makes no sense to me. Oh no, like I said, they're gonna do another tech test this coming weekend. I do want to see them change a few things. My last thing is these maps. The 2 maps that they picked, I don't know if they could have picked worse maps to start with. You know, very bland, very open. There was a lot of campers going in and playing online, especially with Bounty Hunt, and just not a lot. There wasn't a lot in terms of verticality. You know, you had like one really big tower in the map, and that was pretty much it. All the others were like little buildings and huts and stuff. I think that was one of the worst decisions they did. They could have put like one vertical map and then one of these maps. Now, I know people are saying, well, it's only 2 maps and there's going to be more, but here's the thing. These are going to be those 2 maps that when they come around, when the real game hits, and, you know, these maps come around for match play, people are going to be like, oh man, not these maps. That's what I feel these maps are. These maps don't have the essence of Titanfall. They don't have that flow. It just, I don't know, it was a really bad choice, in my opinion, to have these 2 maps. Hopefully in the next tech test they change up the maps. Yo, change up the modes. Let us see what attrition is, if there is going to be attrition in Titanfall 2. You know what I'm saying? But this is pretty much my video for now. It went a little bit longer than I had planned, so I hope you guys, thank you for sticking around, and hearing my opinions on this. Like I said, I was fairly disappointed by the speed of the game, adding money into Titanfall, which made no sense. Still having pilot versus pilot, which that really irks me. That gets on my fucking nerves. But as usual, guys, hit up that comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, this video ran a little bit long, but I do have a lot to say about this because I played the first one. There's a lot of people out there that think that X1 owners are mad because this is multi-plat, and I don't think that's the case. The Xbox community is absolutely awesome. I think there was an initial shock when they said that Titanfall 2 was going to be multi-plat, but then afterwards, we are just trying to do what we can with the background that we have. We have something that we can compare this title to, that people that only play on PS4 can't. Alright, so we are criticizing and trying to critique things and stuff like that just to make sure the best game comes out, the best possible game, and right now this isn't it. But like I said, hit up the comment section, let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you played the tech test. Let me know what you feel the ups and the downs are for the future of Titanfall 2. If this is the first time you've come across one of my videos, definitely check out my channel. Definitely hit that subscribe button. I do have a lot of content that comes out on a week-to-week basis. And yeah, definitely next podcast is every Saturday at 6 p.m. But as for now, this is the Xbot 448. And I am definitely signing off.